All right, guys, in this video, we're going to go over writing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. So we got three examples that we're going to do. We're going to first do an example where we find an equation of a line that passes through these 2 points. All right, we're going to do two different ways. We'll do one way where we use slope-intercept form the whole way, and then the other way I'll show you how to use point-slope form as kind of like a bridge to get from the information that you have to writing the line in slope-intercept form. Okay, so just a reminder again, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. All right, so make sure you write that for the top up here. There we go. And then point slope form is y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x subscript 1. Okay, let's do this first way with slope-intercept form. Now, for whatever way you choose, the first thing you have to do is you have to find the slope of these 2 points. All right, so there's a line that connects these 2 points, right? If you were to sketch it, you have 8, 3 somewhere over here, and -7, -3. So the idea is there's some line that connects these points. So we're going to find the slope of that line using our slope formula, which is the change in y over the change in x. All right, so I'm going to write down the change in y is -3 minus 3 over -7 minus 8. That's the change in the y over the change in the x. -3 minus 3 is -6, and -7 minus 8 is -15. Right? If you reduce that, that's going to give you a positive, and both of these numbers can divide by 3 to give you 2/5. All right? So now this is the slope. With using just slope-intercept form, I'm going to write down slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. I'm going to replace that m slope with 2/5. And then what I want you to do is you're going to choose one of the ordered pairs, so one of the points, and that's going to replace x and y, right here and there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just choose the first point, 8, 3. So the y value is 3, the slope is 2/5, and my x value is 8. Now doing this allows you to solve for that y-intercept of b. So that's going to be 3 equals, excuse me, 16/5 plus b. I'm going to subtract 16/5 from both sides. All right, and then I'm going to do a little work to the side here. So 3 minus 16/5. I'm going to rewrite 3 over 1 to have a denominator of 5. So that's going to be 15/5. All right, minus 16/5, which is going to give us b equals -1/5. All right, so to write my answer in slope-intercept form, I'm going to write y equals 2/5 x minus 1/5. All right, now I know there were some fractions in there, but hopefully you saw kind of the general idea with this is you need the slope, you need a point, and then you plug in to find your b, which is your y-intercept. Now, I'm going to do the same thing but with point-slope form. Now, all the work that we did up until this point, you're going to need to do again. I'm not going to rewrite it, but once you have the slope, you just need to choose a point, and I'll go ahead and choose 8, 3 again, but it doesn't matter. You could choose the other one. So now I'm going to plug into my point-slope form, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. So I'm going to do y minus 3, so you have to think opposite here. And notice I'm only plugging into where it says x sub 1 and y sub 1. My slope is m, so replace that with 2/5. And then x minus x sub 1, which is 8. I'm going to distribute the 2/5 to get 2/5 x minus 16/5. I'm going to move that minus 3 over with plus 3. And you'll see some similarities here. So now I have y equals 2/5 x. I'm going to do a little work to do -16/5 plus 3. I'll do it down here. So -16/5 plus 3 over 1 is really going to be -16/5 plus 15/5. All right, which gives you -1/5. Shouldn't be surprised by that because that's what we got as our y-intercept when we did it with slope-intercept form. So I'm going to write -1/5. Okay? So that's the way to do this with either way, slope-intercept form or using point slope form, what we're going to talk about in class, and I'll remind you right now, is if you were to type this into a like Desmos graphing calculator and you were to type this in, right, you would actually get the same exact line. Those are exactly the same, they're just in different forms. All right? Okay, let's go to number 2. Find the equation of a line that passes through the point -1, 2 and is parallel to the line y equals 3x plus 5. So if I just do a little sketch of what that would look like. So if I were to graph this line here of y equals 3x plus 5, that's a y-intercept of 5, so let's say up here. The slope is 3, so I go up 3, right 1, or down 3, left 1, so it looks something like this, or just a sketch. And we want to find a line that's parallel to this, so again, the same exact slope, never touches it, going through the point -1, 2. So just for, let me make sure I don't do this incorrectly. So 5, down 3, left 1, that's going to be -1, 2. Oh, actually it goes through there. Anyway, the point is that just imagine it's right there. Different y-intercept, but it's going to have the same slope. So I'm going to use this slope of 3, and I'm going to keep that right there. And like I did on the last one, I'm going to write down my slope-intercept form. I'm going to choose my point. This time I only have one option. So I'm going to plug in 2 for y, 3 for my slope, and my x is -1 to solve for b. That's 2 equals -3 plus b. Move that over with addition, and you get b equals 5. All right, well, interesting. It's actually going to be the same. That's cool. All right. Now, let's do point slope form. Oh, actually, let me write the answer. I'm sorry. So y equals 3x plus 5. So in this case, we actually, to go through that point, it's actually going to be a coincident line. It's going to be right on top of it. So imagine taking this purple line. Let's see if I can do this. And move it right on top of that other line. Okay? All right, let's do point slope form. Now, this will most likely not happen when you do these problems. So y minus y sub 1 equals x minus x sub 1. Remember, we need the slope, which we know is parallel, so the same slope. And we need a point, -1, 2. So plugging in, you get y minus 2 equals 3 times x plus 1. All right, we'll talk a lot about this in class, but remember to think opposite when you plug in the x and y values into x sub 1 and y sub 1. Distribute that 3, and you get 3x plus 3. Move that 2 over with addition, and you get 3x plus 5. Okay, you shouldn't be surprised that these are the same. All right, it's just a different way to get to the same answer. All right, so again, this is just a coincidence that the y-intercept is actually the same for these, when most of the time when you do problems like this, it'll be a different y-intercept. All right, but to go through that point, it actually has to be the same line. Okay, let's do one more. All right. Now this one says it's going through the point 4, -3 and is perpendicular. So let's try to do a sketch of this one. I'll do right here in this little box. All right, so 2/3 x plus 1. Let's do a y-intercept of 1, up 2, right 3, down 2, left 3, something like this. All right, and we want to go through a point 4, -3. Okay, this will be better. So there's my point 4, -3. We want a perpendicular line. Again, just sketching here. Right, so I'm going to try to find the equation of that purple line that's perpendicular to that original blue one, right, and goes through that point 4, -3. Now, what you guys hopefully know from Algebra 1 or in our review, that perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. So the slope of this line is 2/3. So the slope of our new line is going to be -3/2. All right, opposite reciprocal. So using my slope-intercept form, I'm going to plug in my y value of -3. My slope, we said, is -3/2 for m. I'm plugging in the x value of 4, and I'll do that to find my y-intercept. So -3 equals, multiplying -3/2 times 4, that's going to give me -6. And then I'm going to add 6 to the other side. -3 plus 6 is going to be 3. So my answer in slope-intercept form is y equals -3/2 x plus 3. Let's use point slope form. Again, we're going to get the same answer. We need the slope of -3/2, and I'm going to use my point for -3. So y plus 3, think opposite, equals -3/2 times x minus 4. Bring down the y plus 3, let's distribute. You get -3/2 x plus, and then 3/2 times 4 is going to be 6. Move this plus 3 over with subtraction, and 6 minus 3 is going to give me 3. All right, so again, shouldn't be surprised that you get the same answer, all right, when you do this. And we'll talk in class about, what way you prefer, which way you think is most efficient, but you need to be comfortable with both, and especially in Algebra 2, as a teacher of Algebra 2, we do a lot of work with point-slope form, so I want to make sure you're comfortable with using that for the future. All right, so try to check your understanding problems, check out the homework, come see me if you have any questions. Good luck.